Let's jump into game number 1, guys. Jjakji versus elfi. The winner will advance on to stage number 2 tomorrow. As we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner, representing my insanity, he is Jjakji. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have that little Finnish phenom. He is elfi.
Elfi. Can elfi be able to bring down one of the biggest players in Europe right now? When it comes to skill, when it comes to potential for tournament victories this year, Jjakji is absolutely up there. It's a massive, fantastic pickup for my insanity to be able to get a player like Jjakji on their team. And he will absolutely, there's no doubt in my mind, represent them well this year. Upside with their Stardust, those two hand in hand. They're going to have a bit of fun this year, I think.
And my insanity has risen to such good, prominence in the European scene. It's very difficult for teams to really break into the scene, but my insanity has done it in spades.
Yeah.
So
I'd say probably my insanity is the best upcoming team that's made waves. Jjakji, looking at this though, has decided to change up his playstyle from the last 2 games that we saw against Kane, whether it be, here maybe his opponent was watching the games or just wanted to change it up because he can. He's going to go for command center first.
And elfi's going to scout him out first, so...
Yeah, quite an early scout here from elfi.
Yeah, nice little advantage here. Well, advantage here for elfi to at least know what his opponent's up to.
And he's taking a second gas anyway. From this position, we could see elfi just go ahead and build a Stargate straight away. Just with the Cybernet score, as soon as he finishes the first 150 gas he gets, just go for it. He's going to know that he's playing against command set first. Everything's going to be a little bit delayed. He could proxy it. He could just build it in his main base. It's not too far away either. But elfi is a type of player, which we all know and love, is aggressive.
What? Oh, he got the SCV.
Can pick off SCVs with a probe.
What?
He's that type of guy.
He
so
is.
I would not be surprised if he did try something here.
Jjakji clearly flustered by the reputation of elfi.
Clearly.
Oh dear. Cybernet score is going to go down behind this, just chrono boosting out the probes. And where is he going to go after this? Actually, he killed that without losing a single hit point on the probe. So it's only shields that he's lost so far.
Yes, he did.
Which is quite weird.
Well, Jjakji obviously knows that he could be in a bit of trouble too, because he has been scouted out early.
Yeah.
He has no idea where that probe exactly come from. Could have come top left. Could have been bottom right. It's either one of those two. It's not cross position. And elfi almost got a second SCV kill there.
Did he really? Oh,
he almost did.
He's looking for it. No, he's not.
A lot of gas in the bank here for elfi. He's going to throw the Nexus first. But with that kind of gas, one can only imagine it would be a Stargate to follow this. The SCV's there. What is elfi going to do?
Well, at least he sees the Nexus. That's good for Jjakji. And he sees the Mothership Core also being chrono boosted out. So not too bad here for Jjakji as he just positions his Marines and gets things going.
What is it, elfi? I know you're about to move and build something at Twilight Council.
Ooh.
So it's not going to be an Oracle to try to punish the SCV line, which is a very, very popular response to somebody who scouts this early on, especially with double gases down already. It's going to be the Twilight Council here.
And one of the disadvantages here for Jjakji is if this becomes something like a Blink play, is that...
I think it's DTs, actually.
You think?
Yeah. He's used a lot of his chrono boost already, and if he wanted to try to play a Blink play, I think he'd need more chrono boost than this.
That's actually a good point.
I think that he'd be willing to chrono boost into the Cybercore and the Twilight Council, and I don't think he has enough to both. That's the only thing that pushes me in this direction at the moment.
Well.
It could still be either, but... Okay, it is going to be Blink. It could have been either, to be honest. Really is at this point.
He's actually chrono boosting into his Nexus still anyway, so looks like he just
It's not going to be a fast attack.
Yeah,
it's going to be a heavy attack. It's going to be very focused on Blink. And it doesn't necessarily need to be an attack. I mean, you could just play it out with Blink. It doesn't need to be a big fight.
Use it for the defense or try and catch any trying to drop play that will come along. But, Jjakji, for now, he's just got the 3 barracks going. He doesn't even have his factory down just yet, and he's going to be committing to some add-ons here. So all of his gas is going to be... focused towards that, as opposed to really getting the medevacs out like the quickest he possibly could do.
Well, there is an SCV that could get some information here. This is one thing you don't want to have happen when you try something like this. You cannot let it be scouted. The SCV is in. This is a crucial mistake here, and elfi trying to capitalize.
Oh, he thinks that something's going on.
And it's over.
Yeah.
It's been spotted. Blink has been spotted here, and we will probably see another tech lab added on. I think he has time to add another tech lab on. To get Marauder production going. Oh, actually, he has time to add on Tech Lab and a reactor.
Yeah, I would actually question the move by elfi to try and surround that and kill that off, because that gave him Jjakji. Maybe the SCV kind of didn't go all the way to the left-hand side. I mean, it's a long shot, but But he knew he wanted to hide something after trying to go for that surround, so minor things, but anyway.
All right, well, elfi has thrown down the robo and then extra gateways. I don't think he's going to really try to go for anything now.
Yeah.
His opponent knows what's going on, and it's not going to work.
Little bit difficult, as you know, those gases will finish up here for elfi. And he's going to move out into the middle with 2 Stalkers, which are pretty safe and sound without any kind of concussive shells really being present. But Jjakji is going around the different way. Oh, okay, and it's brought the Stalkers back anyway.
Scan here, sees the follow-up, sees are 6 gateways about to finish. No, it's the robo, and also the robo bay he sees. So he knows that, you know, elfi's decided to pull out from his initial decision. And this is good for Jjakji. This is actually very good. Look at his... I mean, Jjakji's just been playing a very streamlined game. There's no things that he's had to be like, all right, I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to do this. He's just, all right, I'm doing this. I've seen this and seen this.
Yeah.
I've not stopped doing what I had planned anyway. And in result, has quite a decent setup, has a large army, and has a fantastic follow-up behind this as well, with the starport just now being added on. The medevac's on the way. Stim almost done. Plus an attack on its way as well.
Force an overcharge will push this away. If Jjakji manages to spot that little blur, then he could have dropped scan to kill off the observer, but doesn't spot it for now, or doesn't feel it's adequate enough to try and warrant a scan to kill that off. But aside from that, I mean, Thermal Lance now starting up with these Colossi. I mean, Jjakji's starport, as you said, just about to finish up. He's in an alright position. This is just going to kind of normalize and keep going. But Jjakji's macro is phenomenal, man. He's at 89 supply to 69 right now. It's so good.
3 supply depots about to finish up as he approaches that 94 supply mark. And excellent vision too. Spots the observer, picks it off nice and fast, preventing any scouting information for elfi, who is forced to use hallucinated Phoenix. He wants to know, is there a 3rd command center? Is there a 4th and 5th barracks? Is there a secondary starport which could see an SCV pull come from this? So he's had to use this, a bit of energy, but he does get the information he was looking for. 3 barracks, nothing else, and is looking for the 3rd. No 3rd, but you can imagine it's just going to be a 3rd base from this position. It'd be very weird for extra barracks to come in now, because it is kind of late. It should be a 3rd.
Especially with these 2 supply depots queued up on the left-hand side to try and block this little choke off completely. So, cute little move there by Jjakji, actually, to block that off and make sure there's no zealot harassment going down that location.
And elfi behind this, I mean, because he's had to make a couple of decisions, swing one tech route and then the other one quite fast, he was late on his forges, so he couldn't afford to do everything. So now he's got double forge. He's going to have to sit back quite a bit here, play very defensive with his Stalkers, with his Colossus, and most importantly, keep Jjakji away from dropping. He should never allow drops to happen when the Stalker's out like this.
That one poor little Stalker completely isolated from the pack over on the left. Meanwhile, on the right, has to land some good force fields to prevent this from fully pushing forwards. Nice time warp, and he's actually going to take the direct engagement here. I would question that from Jjakji, since the second Colossus actually comes along, blinks forwards to try and get medevac, and then loses a few Stalkers in the process.
That was a nice little move there from elfi. Did quite a bit of damage, and I think that could be enough for him to go take a 3rd base. I don't think that Jjakji can come back in larger numbers anytime soon. So that is an opening here for elfi to be no longer defensive, take his new base. And by the looks of his money, add on a couple of gateways, my friend.
Oh yeah, so really ramping up.
He is a little bit high there. Just warping 5 zealots. 1-1 about to finish. Another gateway, a single double gateway coming in. And he is moving across here. This is actually a nice little move from elfi. If you think of the Stalkers he has and the lack of Vikings there are, this is definitely an opportunity for something to happen.
Yeah, only 2. Oh, what a scan.
That is a good scan. But Jjakji, left side, 3 medevacs full. If he defends against this attack while these 3 medevacs drop, kill the 3rd, get 1 or 2 in the main, then elfi would be in a disastrous position.
I actually think that the scan has drawn him back, so maybe that was a little bit unfortunate there for Jjakji.
He still may get the 3rd though. Look at this, planting down, expecting this 3rd to be taken. Obviously doesn't want to expand towards the Terran player, and this is a nice move. elfi is going to get fully surprised here. Beautiful move from Jjakji, and he should not miss this.
Very, very nicely done. That Nexus is going to absolutely plummet in terms of health, and then bye-bye it goes.
Great.
And he can get out with everything as well.
Great move.
Tries to blink forwards, but the snipe is not there.
Great, great move. Now the Viking count's rising. The second starport's added on. The only thing missing is... Oh, sorry.
One Stalker got a medevac full of units on that watchtower.
What
very
a
nice.
hero.
Yeah.
What a hero.
It was a little bit unfortunate there for Jjakji, but elfi takes full advantage of it.
Jjakji with a large army supply. He's a little bit behind in upgrades, but when he has this kind of army size, does it matter, one should ask? As the third Nexus is coming down. The Temple Archives was squeezed in between all of this, but he doesn't have the best gas. Or gas income, should I say. He's got 600 gas in the back, but not the best gas income, as he should have had these extra assimilators mining by now. And Jjakji is really ramping up his army size. It really is boosting up quite fast.
It's difficult to keep up with a player like Jjakji in terms of this macro. I mean, yes, elfi has got the double forges going. They're going to complete 2-2 very soon, and he has got high Templars out. But they don't have access to Storm for a long time. So it's going to have to be Archons to try and soak up what they can in this engagement.
All right. Ooh. How's Elfi's fight going to go?
Blinks forwards with the Stalkers, tries to take out one Viking. Very courageous, you're right. I mean, the entire bio could have turned around and done a lot of damage there. The Vikings have to be slightly careful.
If those Colossus go down, then I think the game, you know, it's going to be very difficult to hold on to this game. That's a lot of bio down there.
And another blink forwards here. The Vikings are trying to find position on that last Colossus. Nice force fields to keep them away whilst killing off the Vikings.
But the last Colossus is gone, and now it's just these simple gateway units.
Can they hold on against this torrent of bio-aggression that is trying to push up this ramp? 2-2 is finished for elfi, whereas 2-2 is not finished for Jjakji. Another time warp. These Archons trying to move forwards.
A lot of units behind this as well.
Yeah, all of them, and the Vikings helping out to kill off the Mothership core, and then try and catch any other Colossi that do come along. Good control here from Jjakji. Good stutter-step micro. It's purely Zealot at the very front here to try and deal with this, and he's focusing down the Archon, does end up getting it.
Yeah, and he does. Remember, this is elfi mining from 2 bases alone. Everything he's done this game is from 2 bases because of that beautiful snipe earlier on. And he is going up against a player with 3 command centers, 3 bases, and is absolutely pumping out the unit. It is very difficult to keep up with a player who's been able to have a better economy for the majority of the game. elfi needs his third up and running.
This could be a finishing blow here soon for Jjakji, as he now just constantly rallies across. This has all been seen by elfi. elfi knows that his opponent isn't likely to give up this pressure, and now he has to find some way to make this all subside. But, I mean, how can you?
No, he's not giving it up. He's going to build a 4th command center soon. He's just added on 3 extra barracks. There's the 4th command center. The 3 barracks are finishing in the main base. It's just going to keep on going. Jjakji's playing a ghostless style, which is without ghosts. And he's just piling on the units. He's dropping down on the natural. He's going to move towards his 3rd base at the same time.
Nice pushes, kills off a few workers, tries to grab himself that 3rd Nexus, but doesn't get it in the end. A good separation of units here by elfi, but a lot of them are Zealots actually caught up in that natural location. And the bios, yeah, it's trading, and trading pretty efficiently considering the situation.
Yeah, you can trade against a player who's got a lesser economy than yourself. Especially now this 4th is, you know, almost finished. He's going to be able to transfer SCVs that are mining way too many minerals on the 3rd base. Actually, Jjakji way oversaturated up there, and he's just going to even out his economy to be a much stronger one. But the pressure's not over yet. 3 medivacs south. They're going to do a lot of damage here, and then of course Jjakji in the middle getting ready for another fight.
Does end up seeing those 3 medevacs down to the bottom left-hand corner. He's going to set himself up to try and catch it, but he actually decides to go into the main.
This is a beautiful drop.
Only 3 Zealots there to try and shut that down. Pretty devastating there for elfi.
And then a move down the center. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, this is really difficult for elfi to deal with. He does get 1 Colossus out just at the right time to try and push that away. Meanwhile, a big engagement in the middle. The Zealot's going to try and push him forward. 3-3 is complete for elfi, and somehow, some way holds on.
Yeah, holds on for now. Can he keep on auto? Remember, he does not have any splash damage. Aside from Colossus, he has not had the time to really research Storm in this game. Whether he feels that it's more cost efficient for him to be trading off these units rather than trying to use High Templar, which would lessen his army count, but of course increase the strength of direct engagement. But with this kind of pressure, I kind of like it a little bit, I guess, to have more units against a player who is rallying over and over and over again. But now we're at this position where I think he does have the freedom to probably start Storm. With the next 200 gas, I think this is probably the time to do so. Because then it does, he's got a lot of units now. He's stabilized finally on these 3 bases. But Jjakji is up and ready to build a 5th. And top left.
I really like your analysis of trying to get Storm out now. I mean, he saw in the middle of the map with his observer that his opponent's army did retreat back a little bit ago, but now he sees it moving out, so this is a bit difficult.
He's not getting Storm, he's just building up his army because he knows he does have 3-3 over Jjakji's 2-2. He does have an army advantage when it comes to the upgrades there. He does have 4 Colossus, quite a few Stalkers and Archons. If he can get rid of the Vikings, then these Colossus will live, and he's already picking off 1 or 2, or at least damaging them. Is this the fight that Elfi could win?
The Vikings have to be very careful. Those 4 Archons, if they hover over those, they've got to be very, very careful.
A lot of Vikings, though.
Oh, trying to get a clip on one of those Colossus does with a little bit of a volley. There are 5 Ghosts now in this army as well, so the EMP's going to be big if he's able to land those on those Archons. And he's going
to be careful, stay away from these Archons, especially when the Vikings are clocked up.
Archon's getting a few hits on some of those Vikings. One of the Archons did get hit by an EMP, though, and gets absolutely shredded in the process. Second with an EMP actually catches 2 more of those Archons. The Colossi are falling down. All he has to do is continually micro back, but those Zealots are not dying. Blinks forwards with the Stalkers, getting every single Viking. Well, the EMPs have just shredded up all their shields.
Yeah, they're taking the shields off the Zealots. There's a lot of bio still to come from the barracks. And he is starting to break the economy, which is slowing it down. But are the reinforcements from a bleeding Elfi going to be enough? Because Elfi cannot reinforce like his opponent can, which is why it's very smart for him to get into the economy lines of Jjakji.
Yeah.
Elfi has a 40 supply lead. And one would ask, as always, how does Elfi do it?
The separation up of just a few Zealots to each of those bases there was fantastic. A really good decision. Elfi now is piling on the pressure at the natural. He's killed off most of the SCVs at other locations despite the hidden base here for Jjakji. And Jjakji could be kept in it by that hidden base with 3-3 about to finish up. If he can push this away without having 3-3 and then having that eventually, this is going to go on.
Yeah, remember that Jjakji did set himself up very well on the economy front, but now Elfi successfully mining from a 4th base with a couple of probe transfers here and there to even out the saturation. Then he is looking very good when it comes to his own economy, and Jjakji did take a lot of damage. He saved a command center from the 3rd, which he can redeploy and start mining again. But now, Elfi, realizing that he probably should have had a 2nd robotics facility while doing all this to really ramp up the Colossus production once again. And he is going to go find that planetary fortress. But so far, this has been a great game. I did like Elfi's choice to go for that 200 fight with 3-3 over 2-2, and it did work well. But as you say, 3-3 now is done for Jjakji.
And also, I mean, this is still Elfi without Storm. This is still him saying, I don't really need it at this point. He's getting more and more Vikings. As these trades go on, there's only 1 Viking out right now. Jjakji has to be careful about trading those away. If Elfi flips the switch for that double Colossus production very, very abruptly, then it's going to be difficult here.
Jjakji's trying to put a thorn in the wheel of economy that Elfi has right now with this single drop on the on the right-hand side. But are there enough units? There's not many Vikings, and there's 2 Colossus. There are no Vikings. I can't see anywhere.
The EMP's only really hit 2 Archons as well as a few Zealots, and those 2 Colossi chasing down this army. Jjakji has no choice but to retreat right now. A bit of a drop goes down on the right-hand side, but Photon Overcharge, as well as Zealots, will be able to hold that at bay, and the orbital command at the 3rd is going to die. So Elfi right now is putting out a phenomenal performance.
He really is, considering he was on the back foot for all of this game until the last 5-10 minutes or so where he turned it around, and it was because he started to stabilize on these 3 bases after Jjakji relentlessly put pressure on. And as we can see, Elfi's hammering this one home. Jjakji's struggling to hold on. He's got that base on the left-hand side, but there only are 6 SCVs mining there. Elfi has a better income. Elfi's been the one pushing forward, and it looks like Elfi could do this.
Nice EMP once again by Jjakji, but it doesn't really matter at this point as his army supply is dwindling in comparison to the... It doesn't even matter. The 2 Colossi being alive during all of that is a fantastic boon to Elfi. He's going to fall back for now, but he still has massive, massive advantages.
And even 2 Stalkers destroying that left-hand side economy now.
Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect move. He loses one of the Colossus at the front, but right now, Jjakji, again, absolutely crushed. In terms of supply, GG, Elfi takes game number 1. How does he do it?
How does he do it? How does Elfi manage to turn these kind of games around? And he finds a way here against Jjakji. A fantastic game from Elfi. Being able to sit under all that pressure that was just on and on and on and on and on, and not to crumble, not to fall too far behind. And eventually was able to use the advantage from that double forge that he gained throughout being able to hold on. you know, sacrificing the tech of Templar to be able to build up this army count, to be able to build up that upgrade count. And he does win map number 1 of 3, but does that angular beast that is Jjakji, who's meant to win this series.
Meant to. I actually want to say, though, that if you've been watching, because Elfi streams quite a lot, and over the past couple of months, he's like one of my favorite streamers, because I just like watching Elfi because he's weird and cool. He's actually been working far more on his macro game, but more so than not, he's been working on his speed, which is something that Elfi was probably criticized of more so than other players in the European scene, like a year ago. And I think that more so than not, it kind of really showed there. I mean, just even small moves like those, sending up those 2 stalkers up to the left-hand side whilst trying to push through. I mean, by that point, he had a very strong advantage. But small things like that are really, really nice that you didn't see from him before.
These smart little plays, doesn't take too much to do, but it's the intelligence to be able to realize that, okay, you know, I've broken through the front lines. He's got a great economy because he has been able to expand all this while I've been back home defending on my 3 bases and being able to split units up and get to the economy line, slow the production down of a really steamrolling, when it comes to production, Jjakji. And at the end of the day, elfi does take up map number 1 here. And we will be going to map number 2, as elfi just had to step away for a quick second. And it is going to be Habitation Station for the next one.
And whilst we're in the middle of this series, we have 2 of the remaining 3 series decided to see who advances on. One being Week versus Hearthstone, so a PvP there between the previously known Verdi, if you're not familiar with Week. And then we have Sort of versus Mana. And then Tefl is waiting between the winner of Kane and Cass.
I think some of these games are going on right now.
I think so.
So there's all to be played for across multiple different streams right now that we have here for the InTouch Masters Qualifier, the European qualifier for the IEM Cologne, the InTouch Masters Cologne tournament. And we're about to jump into map number 2 between elfi and Jjakji. Is elfi going to pull, I think it's safe to say, an upset here? Jjakji is a GSL champion. He's won, at that time, the hardest tournament. Even now, you can say it is the hardest tournament in the world to win. And Jjakji's got a victory there. It was a long time ago. He's always been a good player. Now he's here in Europe. As his skill decreased, now he's moved from Korea.
We'll see. And the interesting thing about like trying to qualify on to Cologne, aside from, you know, just playing at Cologne, is that if you're able to win an Intel Extreme Masters, then you guarantee yourselves a spot at the World Championship, which is going to be at Katowice, which last year was amazing.
That's right.
And this year it's going to be 10 times as amazing.
It's going to be good.
So, yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting.
All right. We're now ready and loaded into the next map between these 2 players. Can elfi, the player that nobody really expects to get the results he does almost every single time in every single tournament. Can he take out Jjakji? Can he prevent Jjakji from getting into stage 2 of the InTouch Masters Cologne qualifier?
A crazy thing it will be as he spawns up to the top left in the blue. He is elfi. And up to the top right, we have our red Terran. He is Jjakji. Great games today.
Yeah, some really good games today.
Yeah.
Really good game. A bit of a difference as well from the regular Pro League and GSL games that we see so often. Nice change up of players, faces and quality and styles. And now we do move on to see now what will happen on Habitation Station. A newer map, a new map to the ladder rotation. You know, it's been around for, I don't know, 6 months-ish, I suppose, competitively. I think Red Bull was maybe 6 months, maybe 4 months ago. Somewhere around there. We have seen it a little bit, you're getting quite used to it. And it is a decent map. It's quite fun. And Jjakji not going for the command center first like he did previous back on Frost. He is going to be going for what it looks like the Reaper build. As the 12 barracks is down. And oh no, he's not 12. He didn't take the gas actually. Okay, so by the looks of it, he may not take a gas at all.
Yeah,
just one barracks command center by the looks of it.
Well, the gas has been taken here for elfi. He's going to head on out and see what his opponent's up to. Maybe try and slip in there and see if there's any gases to his name. For now, Jjakji just heading on
He
down.
takes a later gas. This is a different build to what we see usually in this matchup here. Going over to the gas at this point will allow him to take a relatively decently timed command center, but it will also increase his gas income to the point where we could see an early factory coming out from him. And with the second supply depot down, this is hiding a lot of information here. I mean, Elfi can stay around to see if it's a Marine or Reaper or something, but at this point, you must be wondering why there's a second supply depot in the first place.
Yeah.
An interesting build from Jjakji here.
Wow.
What we could see, an engineering blade block on top of that too.
And that was very quick. Like, he didn't even go in and check what was going on. He was just instant engineering bay. Now, does Elfi start a Zealot?
Well, to be honest, no, because he should have started one already if he's going to start one. So this is going to slow him down a little bit there by taking this. It may push him into one base tech, which is kind of likely, actually, once you get blocked like this. But I wonder what Jjakji is trying to do here. He's gone over for the reactor. Is he going to start maybe a factory with the next 100 gas that he has? Or are we going to see Hellions come into play in this game? What is he looking to do? There's a lot of combinations he can choose. Whether it be Marines pumping out from this, the factory, it could be like a Widowmine Marine Hellion play, could be factory Hellion play, could be a lot of different things here.
And only just now has he noticed this engineering bay, whilst the SCV was.
And there's not even a stalker been made yet.
Yeah.
It's just the mothership core, which pushes him onto one base virtually for quite a while here. Zealot made first, saving his gas. You'd almost think that Jjakji, with such a success of this engineering bay, would fall back completely defensively from this position.
It was alluding to maybe a Stargate going over here with my mouse cursor, and there it goes. Well, this is going to be Elfi's option, so...
I would definitely fall back defensively if I was Jjakji here. With this factory, I'm building a Widowmine and probably placing it in my mineral line, maybe even 2 Widowmines.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the Stargate option here is much higher than Blink. Blink is definitely a possibility, but on the way that this map works, if you look at the natural of his opponent, is Blink play as efficient on this map as others? Not really. Is he going to be able to go just for a simple gateway play? No, not really.
Why did he cancel the Zealot?
Did he cancel the Zealot?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's just showing that it could have been a Stalker or whatever the case, saving money at the end. Zealot's not really useful once he's playing this style.
Yeah.
The Oracle's going to come in, but with the Widowmine in place, which is... Where is it?
Going down to the natural, or it will do.
Oh, wait, I thought you meant the other natural.
Oh, no, yeah.
Where is it?
It's rallying out towards the natural.
Oh, it isn't out yet. Okay.
No. So, and the Stalker actually
There's
comes out.
6 Marines in the main base. There is the Widowmine, which is going to try and get this Stalker, and it should get it, just... Oh, no. Okay, sorry.
Scoots on out.
Scoots out just a bit, repairs that, and then goes back. But this is a minefield that Elfi kind of has to dodge. He is building a second one as well.
He absolutely has to be careful of this
SCV
Oracle.
doesn't get anything, but there are 6 Marines. They've moved. Where are they? Oh, they're on the natural.
Oh, wait.
No.
The 6 Marines in the mineral line as well.
Oh, okay.
He's got a lot of Marines, guys.
I was scared then. I thought the Oracle was free.
And where did that Widowmine just set down? Oh, it's on the ramp. Okay.
Yeah, there's more Marines down here. Nice grab.
This is the best commentary ever, by the way. We're like following.
Yeah,
all right, there we go.
Oracle, because the Oracle is really important because of the way that Elfi has been delayed.
Second Oracle
from his Nexus here. The Oracle really wants to get damage done here. We are going to have very smartly Widowmine come out here in a Medivac, obviously, to try and get towards that mineral line. But even smarter, Elfi has identified what his opponent's playing with, has got a cannon in the mineral line.
He killed his own SCV there for a second. Was he supply blocked for some reason?
No, I don't know why that was. No. Maybe just a mistake.
And trying to get any SCVs that he can, but doesn't get them. Meanwhile, the drop on the left-hand side, that Widowmine is covering that Stargate location very nicely there.
And there is a Widowmine in the mineral line on the natural too, so if these Oracles try to get in there...
And they will kill off a Stalker, and I think he could kill off a few of those sentries if he wants to.
Yeah. He's going to pick off this Stargate pylon for now, but the 2 Oracles inside the main base join forces to pick off the Marines. No mines here, which means the SCV line is there.
Absolutely cripple those Marines, but they will come in and get one, and will they get a second? Yes, they will. Meanwhile, Stargate underpowered, trying to get the kill fully. That Widowmine is just about to pop once again. If he focuses down on the sentries, that could do a lot of damage. But at the same time, focusing the Stalker is also a great option. And the Stargate's going to fall.
Stargate is going to fall here. It's not useful anyway anymore, but there is that Widowmine there, which is really preventing Elfi from going up to getting rid of it. as he's only just now thrown down his robotics facility. Behind this, both players are trying to switch into where they want to go for the next part of this game, with the double tech labs now being built on the starport and factory, switched over with the double barracks, so they can get the stim and combat shields upgrade, while also adding on the reactor to the factory for the starports.
Cheeky Widowmine tries to walk on into that mineral line, but there is that cannon there, and he does get a few kills for its troubles. So a good trade there for Jjakji in the end.
Yeah, decent trade indeed. But look at this, Jjakji's moving across the map now, realizing that his opponent has, lost a sentry or two here, can put pressure on again, force a photon overcharge out while getting ready to move out with stim and combat shields in the next minute.
It's a bit of a bizarre game.
20 supply lead. Yeah, it has been a very, very bizarre game. Very fast and furious.
And, well, what is elfi going to offer in terms of the defense? Where's his mothership core? Okay, it does have energy for photon overcharge. It's absolutely going to be crucial to trying to deal with this. Gets a pylon for himself, does Jjakji, and then just heads straight on out. Looks for guaranteed damage, and he's just going to take the engagement straight up. He feels he has enough firepower.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a Stalker and Sentry against 10 Marines, so...
Oh, and if he'd have got that force field down, then that would have helped considerably, but just slightly shy.
That's a win. Get out. That's a win.
Yeah.
2 photon overcharges used, mothership core down. This is where Jjakji is going to go back to his real army, which is the one that's building up for the next wave.
Yeah.
And he's going to join forces and then go for the next attack. I think that he got whiff, I'm pretty sure he did, of the warp prism. He should have seen that, I think, with the Marines, which is why he's got units inside his main base already.
Yeah.
He's added on 2 extra barracks, which means he can have units to defend at home while units to attack on the other side as well. So he's just really increasing his unit count.
But I think one of the interesting things about all that is that, because he got both photon overcharges, then maybe that a straight push from there on, as you see that second photon overcharge being expended on the natural would have been good. But whoa, Jjakji.
Even the Viking, he saw it straight away and is ready for that. So now what he can do is push the Warp Prism back, then have all his units together for this next attack. With the Templar Archives only just finishing up, yes, he can get like 2 High Templar for a single Archon, but that is not enough splash damage, I'm sorry. The Photon Overcharge is not ready. This is an attack with combat shields, with stim, with +1 attack, with concussive shells, with 3 or 4 medivacs.
And just great execution off the back of establishing a really nice early lead here for Jjakji. Just absolutely thorough about executing this game as perfectly as he can do. I mean, elfi has a few feedbacks in this army that could try and help out, gets one of the medevacs, but realistically, that bio army is way too strong. The Zealots absolutely melt.
And this is going to be 1-1 here, Colaris. We are going to go to the rubber match.
G to the G, as Jjakji will seal it 1-1. As you said, that final game now to see who advances on, but realistically, a lot of people are expecting Jjakji to advance on.
Yeah, a very technical game there by both players, really opting against the regular set of builds. For example, 1 barracks, 15 gas isn't a build we see that often in Terran versus Protoss. And then elfi having, engineering bay blocked his natural to Stargate. A bit of a unusual game there, but it is Jjakji who comes out ahead. And the series is tied up. And we're going over to Heavy Rain for the last decider, for the deciding map to see who is going to make it to Stage 2 to join the players that have been invited into Stage 2 tomorrow.
I have to repeat what you mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast. Heavy Rain, I like it. I think it's a pretty good map. As much as some people complain about rocks sometimes, I think the rocks are in an okay position in the middle of the map to delay, super fast attacks. And then if you want to break them down to make that path a little bit easier, then it's very nice. And yeah, I like Heavy Rain. I like playing on it.
So Harston is the first player to qualify for Stage 2. He did beat out Verdi, or Weak as he's gone by now, 2-0. And I think that's the only result so far that has been completed in the round of 8.
Yeah, and Tefel's still waiting for either Kane or Cass. It may have... He may already know his opponent, it just might not be updated in the brackets fully. But as you said, our third map here to see who will move on to tomorrow is going to be Heavy Rain. And elfi versus Jjakji, whoever advances on... I mean, the players that we have tomorrow are players like Stardust, Wellmu, Grubby, Titan, 4GG is in there, TLO, Demaga, Vortex.
It's a good set of players.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how Vortex is going to fare. Considering he's, after seeing him in WCS Season 3, he's one of Europe's shining stars at the moment. And I'm curious to see what he's been doing over the course of the holiday.
Apparently he's studying for an exam, which is why I can't make it to a tournament in the next few weeks. So I'm not too sure if he is in best of shape right now. But whatever the case, is a good set of players for tomorrow. Which one of these will join them Is it going to be the Finnish player Elfi, who likes to cause a stir in the scene when it comes up to playing against fantastic Korean players? Or is it going to be, as many expect it to be, Jjakji? Let's find out. Game number 3.
Alrighty, spawning down to the south here as our blue Protoss representing ENCE. He is Elfi. And up to the north, we have our red Terran. He is Jjakji.
Okay, so game between these two players. Heavy rain. I mean, not even heavy rain. Any deciding match against a Protoss player, you absolutely have to be very fluid with your scouting to make sure you get everything. Every little bit of information you can gather out there, you need to make sure, especially against a player like Elfi, who is known for being a dangerous player. He's known to be able to snipe out players such as Jjakji. So let's find out, does Elfi want to try anything here? Is he confident in going head-to-head with such a titan as Jjakji? Or does he need to pull a trick like many Protoss players like to pull against Terrans?
Especially me when I'm playing Protoss, man. I am a cheesy, nasty person.
Nasty person.
If I'm playing against Terran on here, my favorite spot to put a proxy Stargate...
Let me guess, right to the right.
Right up here. It's a lovely little location. And it's not even the nicest of places to scout out for a Terran either. It's pretty out of the way, considering where they have their main and natural and the path all the way up there.
Well, Elfi has taken double gases quite early on.
Ooh.
This is going to be a Reaper build, most likely, here. We could see the reactor for double Reapers, but the way that most European Terrans, and including Jjakji in this bracket for now, like to play it out, is just a single Reaper. So with a single Reaper, you'll want to look everywhere. Go into the main base, probably just look for the pylon to see if it's hidden or not as the first indicator. And then take it from there. No, it's actually going to be reactor, so it double Reaper by the looks of it. A build that we are seeing pop up again. It is an older build that was actually used almost at the start of Heart of the Swarm, but then went down to one Reaper into a faster command center, which then went back to double Reaper due to the amount of builds that Protoss have been throwing out there recently. So I imagine that one will go to the base and the other one will just scout around.
And this second supply depot for Jjakji is absolutely primed to just spot any earlier aerial assaults that would come along. And hey, there's a pylon.
Oh, it's the left-hand side.
Ah, cheeky man.
And of course, Elfi would do something like that, wouldn't he? With an SCV scout aiding the two Reapers.
He just pulled the guys out of gas as that SCV came in.
Yeah, but still.
Is that...
I mean, it can be a little... I mean, he's not even gone back in there. It is a little bit tricky. It's a little bit too detailed to read into whether that means anything or not. And at the end of the day, there's two gases down. He knows there's two gases down. He knows they're mining a lot. He's now looking inside the bases to find the pylon, the third pylon, because the third pylon's on the other side, and it's already building the Stargate. He is not going to find the pylon, and these Reapers are going to have to be worth their weight in gold to spot this.
Certainly are, and he's going to send them straight on it. Look, he's already rallied around that left-hand corner.
Yeah, beautiful rallying there from Jjakji. But can he stop it? Because the Oracle's going to be chrono boosted soon.
Oh, yeah.
He'd have to try to target the pylon, and if he maybe can bring down the Marines immediately, there's a chance.
It's one of the powers of the reactor.
If he turns around with the Reaper and brings the Marines immediately, I think there might be a chance.
Yeah, as I say, it's one of the powers of the reactor opening to have that many Marines out.
Go with the Marines. He was a little bit slow. He definitely can get this before the Oracle comes out, I think. Well, I say definitely, I think, but if he'd gone straight away with the Marines, yes.
He's bringing another probe to throw down a pylon, though.
Yeah, but he can stop the probe. He can turn around and snipe it. He can get this.
Well, this has gone downhill for Elfi pretty quickly.
Nice. That was really nice from Jjakji. A little bit unfortunate there. Even if the other probe gets there, it's way, way too late now, I think.
Yeah.
And that was really smart. A little bit slow with the Marines. If he hadn't have pulled the Marines down fast enough, then it would have completed.
I can't help but feel that this was a little bit too predictable from Elfi. Because, I mean, if we if we were anticipating it, and I'm sure Jjakji, I mean, from the very word go, he was anticipating it. Mothership call!
Ooh, Stalker as well.
You can recall. Oh, well, the Stalker's there.
Once you come with the Stalker, you can time warp and against the Marines.
All right.
But now there's going to be 7 Marines, so, yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. But meanwhile, the two Reapers got 3 kills. Oh, 2 kills. 3 kills.
4 kills.
All right, so they get out.
Good. That's a good start for Jjakji here in this last game. Really good start. Oracle's been pushed away. You know, he's brought the Mothership core down low. He's killed 3 or 4 probes.
Nexus is very late.
Nexus is late because of the proxy Oracle. He's already got his 3 barracks down. He can move over here, force a photon overcharge, which cannot be used because he used the time warp. So smart move out here. And this could definitely can catch Elfi off guard.
No energy
with 2
for the
Reapers there as well. Yeah, because he used the type, because he came back.
Yeah, brutal.
Used, the recall earlier.
Scary, scary times. He throws down extra 3 gateways, but they're not going to be done anywhere near in time. The 2 Reapers as well. Any damage they take can quite easily be healed up during all of this.
And he's going to prevent mining from this natural here.
Yeah.
Probably if I'm Jjakji, I'm building a bunker back at home soon, because you've got to be careful of a retaliation attack.
And the Reapers move forwards there for Jjakji to try and soak up some of that damage. Really nice use and good control there for Jjakji, making it very difficult for elfi to fully commit to that attack.
Do you reckon Jjakji scans in a second to see what's going on inside?
Maybe so.
Or is he just confident that he can break through anyway?
I think with the Marauder, that's really going to help out, right? I mean, that coming to the front here, getting that one as well. He also has concussive shells, so that's really going to help out. He has to pull the probes to deal with this. The Mothership core falls, and the Stalkers have to do so much here. It was a good defense in the end, but he loses probes for it.
Yep, a lot of probes.
Yeah.
So
brutal.
There it is.
There it is, yeah.
And he sees no additional gateways. It's a little bit unlucky.
Yeah.
A little bit. And he sees Chronobush in the Nexus too. That's also unlucky. Oh, he actually was. I don't think he was paying attention.
Oops.
But there was 3 units that got warped in, which he saw. It's 3 sentries. He's thrown down double bunkers anyway because he didn't see tech, which is the most important part. Because, I mean, I'm not sure what's more important, not seeing the gateways or not seeing tech. Because not seeing tech means that, you know, there should have been a tech structure down there, and it's probably something thrown off to the sides, which is why the bunkers have come down, and a turret in case of DTs, random blink play, which still could be viable, gateway attacks.
And why would 3 Stalkers have just killed that SCV now at that Stargate? That's really far out for those 3 Stalkers.
And a probe was over there, so everything's starting to piece together here. Another scan goes down slightly to the right, bing, bada, boom, boom, boom.
Yum, yum.
He sees the 3 additional gateways, great scan there, and now all he needs to do is make sure his SCVs come off the line to repair the bunkers. And he completes the bing, bada, boom, 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 and will take this game if he defends this. Because there's no way that you can really come back from this successfully when Medivacs are out and Stim is ready to go. It's going to be very difficult to hold the counterattack.
It really is. All Jjakji needs to do is bam, 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 and he pockets this game, man. That's going to be very, very nice here for Jjakji. But at the same time, you know, that Twilight Council is being added on for elfi, so he feels as if this isn't going to be too easy. But
he's not going to try.
I mean, look how much gas there is in all those sentries he committed to. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he can hold on the front lines, but can he stop these units from dropping inside the main base?
Yeah.
And, well, I guess one thing that is working in elfi's favor is there is no combat shields for now. It means these Marines are a little bit weaker. And there is no +1 attack, which, you know, sometimes these players do have at this time. But the way this has gone, it's been a little bit abnormal. Okay, so this attack coming in, this is very difficult to hold on to. Especially if he's able to plant these units inside the main base without having the Protoss army close.
And, well, the pylon will spot a few Marauders and Marines in the middle. Interesting thing, he actually reverted and changed the course of that second medevac just to skirt around that pylon after the first one did see it. And now this double drop play, I mean, he can stutter step quite nicely against this as long as the force fields don't land properly.
He's killing so many probes! Oh, I missed the force field from grabbing all of them.
And that actually hurts him. There was a lot of Zealots leading the charge there.
And units on the natural. The Mothership core does activate for an overcharge, but is also going to get picked off at the same time.
Oh, nice little trap there, but picks up and will retreat on back.
The Nexus is being targeted.
Just good plays all around here from Jjakji. Did lose one of the medevacs in the main base, but... and at the same time, to be fair, elfi holds on pretty nicely.
Yeah, still no combat shields and still no +1 attack. No combat shields even been researched yet. Jjakji has got a much higher army supply, of course, with all these units waiting to jump.
Jjakji, offensive factory, please. I love seeing it just being landed in a choke point, especially against an opponent that has, well, he doesn't have that many Zealots, I guess.
Well, remember Storm is almost done, and there are 4 High Templar. They will have 4 Storms each, but here we are going to see the pressure continue on. Another big drop into the main base.
Oh, if we could get the Cybernetics core, that would be very nice. That would force his opponent only to have really Zealots, and we'll get it at the cost of 1 medevac.
Yeah, all he can build now is Zealots and High Templar.
Meanwhile, a little poke into the natural as well, trying to get a pylon. That will not supply block elfi here, but he's just being stretched left and right.
Stretched very, very thin here.
It's really difficult to deal with. Another drop at the back here, more reinforcing units.
All the High Templars are gone as well. All the High Templars have been picked off, if not forced into Archons.
Probes come off the line. elfi knows he's in a lot of trouble. That Archon trying to chase all of this down. The Bio's not able to reinforce as quickly as he would like.
Archive's about to go down, which means it's only Zealots now he can make.
Hooray, factory land for the win. And even trying to get that Archon just barely ekes out the ability. Oh, get it. Oh, it's so close. Oh, 2 health at the very end of the Archon, but the medevac at the back was doing a little bit of damage.
Yeah, and every single barracks waypointed over there. This is Jjakji's moment. He's halted Elfi after an excellent game number 1 from the Finnish player, being able to take that map number 1. But it is Jjakji who picks up map number 2 in an awkward, non-standard fashion. And game number 3 was Elfi trying to do what Elfi does best, which was that proxy Stargate, but it was started way too early. Gave Jjakji a nice lead. And as you can see, Elfi is sadly dying.
An exciting series, but in the end, you're right. There you go, GG. Jjakji advances on to stage number 2, 2-1. Great recovery by him.
Yeah, great recovery from Jjakji, where you know, his qualification was on the line there. And it was Elfi that could have ripped it away from him, but Jjakji stepped it up in game 2 and 3, and is that man, is the guy to pick up the victory in that best of 3. And moves on to tomorrow. And we will be covering the games from tomorrow as well, from 12 p.m. again, just like today.
Yes, we shall.
In Germany.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I mean, if today's games have been awesome, then I imagine tomorrow's are going to be even better, as we have a very strong lineup. But I mean, just in general, today's lineup's been really good as well. The games that we get to cast have been good. We're trying to figure out now which is going to be our next match. Do you have any updates?
I just asked the admin. I said, is there any more games for us to cast, or are we finished for now? I don't know. I imagine we do the Teffel versus Castle Kane. And I don't know how that's going. I'll see if I can find out how Castle Kane is going on.
Yeah. Do you want to go a break whilst we figure it out? And
well, hold on.
Hold on. Hold your horses. All right. Well, aside from that, whilst Mr. Sean Apollo is
Cass has only just started versus Kane, I think.
Really?
Yeah, the first game is going on now.
All right.
So there is still the winner of that versus
okay.
Teffel to be played.
Okay. Well, whilst we're waiting for these things to go along, go over to facebook.com/ESLTV and make sure to follow the page, as well as leave a comment on the post with lovely little Apollo signing this lovely board in front of you. And you can be given a chance to actually win the board. It's signed by a lot of the attendees of the previous Intel Extreme Masters, as well as some guy called William, who I've that guy, who I've just found out about. And yeah, you can win that board. And actually, you know, when these first came in to the office, I really wanted one. But it was a long time ago that they actually came in, but I still want it.
Where would you have put it?
Where would I
if you had that? Where would you have put it?
Considering my apartment and where everything goes, probably just in a drawer, and I'd be like, I'm saving it for later. And just like in a clutter box somewhere. Probably not using it as well as other StarCraft fan would out there on their wall as a little bit of a prize. So maybe it's probably not good that I get it. Sorry about that.
Probably not.
Guess not. All right, Sean, what do you want to do?
Well, I guess we're just, well, there's nothing to do right now. There is no game to commentate. There is no game to watch, to talk about. As the only game that's going on right now, I mean, there are other games going on, but they're fully ahead of themselves in the round of 8, playing their last game. The only game to be played will be the Teffel game versus either Castle Kane. So we're going to have to wait for that one, I guess.
All right. All right. So I guess we'll go to a short break. And then when we're back, we'll have some more awesome StarCraft action here from the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne Europe qualifiers. Don't go anywhere.